Hello, my name is Vanessa Hernandez. I am a newly published author, mother of two children, and a wife of 14 years. I first realized that I wanted to become a writer at a very young age. I used to write poetry all the time, enjoyed rhyming words, fell in love with hip hop music. As I got older, storytelling became more of a therapeutic thing for me. I think it depends on the book that you're writing and how connected you are to the story of how long it can take. Personally, the two novels that I have written so far, only one being published, were very close to me as far as I felt them. I was connected to the characters. I believed in their triumphs and their failures. I mean, I was into it, which gave me a lot of motivation to continuously write and finish both in a very short amount of time. Um, the first book I ever wrote was a personal book. It was sort of a memoir. It's a book that I don't intend to release until like the finale of all my book writing. But the inspiration for my second book was I really just wanted to um, illuminate a lead character, female lead character that's just a hustler and really motivated and smart and determined to change their lives because we're all faced with sacrifices that we have to make that affect our lives, the people around us, how we move, how we grow. So I just envisioned this strong woman that just picks herself out of mud and runs through rain to achieve her goals. And in that, what they say, more money, more problems, and just that's what inspired me. That's what I wanted to create. The most surprising thing I learned when creating this book were the import and export laws. My main character, Inez Martinez, she is up and coming in the export industry, exporting vehicles out of the country. And it was very surprising to see some of the things that you can and cannot do and how much money you can really make doing it. As I mentioned before, I've written two books. Uncharted Frank is a three-part series. Part two, which I'm currently writing, and part three is yet to come. My favorite would have to be Uncharted Frank. It's a fiction story that I just am really connected to. Thank you for congratulating me on the release. Um, I think I've already jumped into a little bit of what it's about. And Inez Martinez is a Latina woman that lives in Jersey City, New Jersey, and she is a high school dropout and just trying to find her way. And through her ambitions, just really comes down a path that ends up being very lucrative for her, but also very, dangerous and damaging. I would hope everyone, try to be original with their writing. I know this is a story that I created, so originality is there. It's still relatable to a sense that people can relate to it from um, experiences that they've gone through in their lives. So, but I would say yes, I would believe the content is original. Sure, I can read an excerpt from the book. Here it is. Uncharted Fright, the Acquisition, Series 1. In the back of the book, it mentions Inez going on a Caribbean quest to find self peace. I am going to read the beginning of chapter 10. It is her arrival to San Cabo, Mexico. I sunk into the silk mattress as soon as I walked in the door. I woke up face down on velvet pillows. The king size bed in the middle of the loft was the softest thing I've ever laid my body against. Through the sliding glass door leading to the beach was a dark red sky with orange shadow underneath. The fire color bounced off the water, creating a painting illusion. I bit my lip in awe of the view. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen with my natural eye. Kelvin only liked to go skiing. Our vacations were always in the winter during the freezing cold weather. This time, I chose Mexico. I stretched my arms and legs the widest I could. I don't feel my phone. I make snow angels in all white 1,000-count sheets trying to feel for it and nothing. I know I had it when I got out of the cab. I used it to check into the room. I hold myself up, leaning my arms positioned behind me to scan the chair at the front door of the loft. My suitcase is thrown on the floor in front of it. My guest book bag, jacket, and neck pillow are all laying on top of the suitcase. No phone. I'm glancing around the room, trying to retrace my steps in my head. Nothing. Oh, whatever. I strip my clothes off and head into the bathroom. It's the same size as the first floor of my apartment. I knew when I booked the vacation I was going to be staying 2 weeks in a luxurious villa directly on the beach, but this is beyond my imagination. The tile decor is all white with blue ocean accents. The shower is surrounded by glass doors and 3 shower heads. I bet 12 people can shower at the same time comfortably. The sinks, toilets, and tub are all made out of white and blue marble. There's a second toilet with a nozzle on it. I can't remember what those things are called, but I've seen them in the movies. You're supposed to use them to wash your asshole, right? I'll have to Google it. All the small towels are made into seashell folds and small doves. While the bathtub filled up with hot bubble soap water, I stood and stared at myself in the mirror. I look at myself in the face and I see my mother. Her eyes, her nose, her lips. I'm sure we share the same smile as well. I just don't use mine as much as she uses hers. I wonder how much of me looks like her. Are we the same height, shoe size, bra size? At my age, she was already mothering us, changing diapers, making bottles. I guess the old tale, history repeats itself, isn't always true. Here I am, 24 years old and alone. Not a spouse or even a friend to spend my days with. I wipe a single tear from my right cheek and sink into the tub. The hot, stinging feeling against my calves and thighs feels relaxing. I slowly lower the rest of my body, and above the water is bubbles and steam. I lay my head back and I close my eyes. So that, again, is a part of Chapter 10, when she arrives in Mexico. Does one of the main characters hold a special place in my heart? Yes. Inez Martinez is who I aspire to be. She is a strong, beautiful, confident woman. She's independent. She's vulnerable. She's tough. She's the best. I truly, truly love her. The inspiration behind the story, I kind of talked about it in the beginning. I wanted to create something that was just motivating, honest, real, strong. I love a movie or book with a strong female lead. I wanted to create that female lead that I aspired to be, and that gave me the inspiration behind the book. The key theme or the message of the book is never give up. You know, people are going to hurt us. People are going to lie. We're going to feel betrayed by friends, family. We're going to betray others. We're going to make mistakes that we regret. And I just think that quality that Inez possesses is she doesn't give up. I mean, she keeps going. She keeps trying. Like I said earlier, she crawls through mud. She runs through rain. And she is a tough cookie. And I want people to read her story, feel her struggle, admire her growth, and aspire to do the same, and no matter what setting, atmosphere, or struggle they're going through. And that's what I hope my readers take away. I hope they take away the strength behind the characters and the hustle behind it all. The significance of the title. That's a good question because I'm asked a lot. Uncharted Frank. Uncharted means untraveled, unexplored. Fright is what it is. If you see in the book, there is a boat It's Fright. Inez exports and imports things from America to Australia, and that's her fright in the water right there. The acquisition means to obtain, and I think that and that applies in a lot of ways in this book. She obtains, successes, money, confidence, and she loses as well. So that is the history behind the title. The cover was pretty simple for me, actually. I knew I wanted water. I knew I wanted the boat. The keys obviously are a big is a big part of it because she exports cars, and I just those three key elements I needed there. So I just came up with, a blue background with a boat in the water and some keys hanging from the letter, and it actually pretty simple for me, for what my journey and creating it. To get a copy of the book, you can go to my website, awritersvibe.com. You can go to Amazon. You can go to Barnes and Nobles. It's there. Only on Amazon is ebook version, but paperback is on Barnes and Nobles. Hardcover is coming soon. And again, you can just go to my website at awritersvibe.com. My family supports me. I mean, they really, the ones closest to me felt like I took so long to get this done because I've been talking about it for a long time. My husband is very supportive. He lets me bounce ideas off of him. He gives me his feedback and honest feedback, which is sometimes hard to accept. But I think that with his collaboration and some of his help, I've been able to really create a great story. Common traps for aspiring writers is continuing to write. Sometimes our days get long, our days are hard. Most writers are professionals in other fields in their regular lives to do as far as making a living, and it's really hard sometimes. So I think that the trap is finding time. We feel like we don't have time, we have to do this, we have to do that, and don't fall into that trap. When you feel something, when you're thinking about it, start writing it, because you're gonna keep going, and it's gonna fuel you. Once you get started, it always fuels you. So just make sure you keep that flame burning for it, and you won't fall into that trap. I don't know. I mean, if you're confident in your story, be confident, share it, talk about it, brag about it. I guess it depends on the perception of the person you're speaking to. So, your big ego can inspire someone, or your big ego can, turn them off. But yet and still, it's who you are. If that's who you are and you aspire to be, and that's how you want to carry yourself, then by all means do that, because you can only be you. You cannot dumb yourself down for anyone, whether their perception of it is not what yours was giving it. Yeah, I think anybody can be a writer, whether they feel it strongly, emotionally, or they don't. Um, if you have to enjoy it, you have to want it. So can anybody be a writer, whether they're emotional or not? Absolutely. I mean, can they put pen to paper? If they can, they will, and if they want to, it will happen. And yes, the answer to that question is yes. The only suggestions I have to becoming a better writer is never stop writing, keep rereading your work, read other work to help inspire you to see different writing patterns. Every author is different. There's some very popular ones. There's some that you don't know about that you can learn stuff from. So always read, seek new. The most popular isn't always the best. There's a lot of us indies out there that do very well and write very well, but we're not very known. And just keep exploring, keep looking, keep researching, keep reading, and you'll keep doing what you do. And I'm sure you'll produce the best work. Thank you for having me. Again, my name is Vanessa Hernandez. This is my book, Uncharted Frank. You can find me on Instagram at A Writer's Vibe. You can find me on Facebook at A Writer's Vibe. And you can come to my website, awritersvibe.com. And I enjoy speaking with you, answering your questions, and look forward to reading your blogs. Thank you.